The Buffalo Bills, and probably one of the more exciting Thursday night football games we've had in who knows how long, drop to the Houston Texans. Davis Mills leading that Texans team, really that defense leading that Texans team. This one was a tough one for the Buffalo Bills. They convert that 4th and 27, Shakir and Palmer, and you're like, wow, like I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, the Bills are actually stepping up in the moments that matter most, right? I'm like, this is Andy Reid, this is Kansas City type stuff. Like, okay, let's go. But then a false start turns a 4th and 1 to a 4th and 6. The pressure all day. What did he end up getting? Sacked 8 times. 8 times. Even that last play, pressure breathing down his neck, just pretty much just had to throw it up. And the defender was actually covering, was on his way to cover, I don't know who it was, out down the sideline. And then he just changed his directions last second and then dives to intercept it. If he stayed committed and didn't change last second, again, I don't even know who he ended up intercepting because it literally just happened. So I'm obviously just jumping on right now. So I'm not sure who that throw was even intended to at this point. He would have had it, and he probably would have fallen to the ground, and then they probably would have hit him, and then would have, it would have all come down to a, probably within the 5 or so, but could have maybe backed into the end zone because there was really no one around him, so I don't know if anyone would have caught up to him, but yeah, I mean, the pressure and the sacks just endless and relentless. It was tough sledding, and no Kincaid, no Coleman. As Kurt was explaining, there was no way to stretch the field. Everything had to be underneath and hope for yak, which the Buffalo Bills do terribly anyway. And not to mention just this Texans defense. It was, I like what he said, I quote, tough matchup for what he has to work with against this type of defense. And it was. And a credit to this Houston Texans defense. I mean, if you're a Texans fan right now, you got to be so frustrated that you can't get this offense going. And listen, they're playing better right now, obviously, but like this offense is still hardly much ado about nothing. 16 for 30, 153 yards. Like, their offensive production, this Houston Texans, was all about just how poor the Buffalo Bills defense is. And now they got injuries dropping like flies on defense as well. But you got to be thinking, man, if we could just have a functional, consistent offense, we're a contender. Our defense is elite. Our defense is special. I mean, they were generating pressure on Josh Allen. I mean, and there was nowhere for Josh to even scramble. I mean, there was just nowhere to go. He was bottled up consistently. And then when they did have any type of momentum going, Shakir fumbles the ball. Like, it was tough sledding. It was tough sledding. If you're the Buffalo Bills, I don't know how you explain this game to yourselves, because you can't just say, this was just a rough game for us, because it wasn't. It was consistent of how the things have been unfolding. Again, Coleman is a healthy scratch back-to-back games. So like, what is actually going on there? You're taking an incredibly valuable piece for Josh Allen. His leading receivers are Shakir and Ty Johnson. I mean, it's just this is tough here. Or trying to work back to Gabe Davis. It's a tough one. I don't know what the Bills are looking to do here, man. I mean, your wide receiver too is your backup running back. And your defense isn't good enough to stand its ground either. They didn't make Davis Mills uncomfortable. Granted, he gets rid of the ball quickly and all that, but I mean, they had a consistent run game. They didn't break off any massive runs or anything crazy, but they had a consistent run game. And that's the thing with the Bills. They had a couple big chunk runs, but then in all of these other little moments, they couldn't close it out. And that's when Josh Allen was really upset when they had the handoff to Cook on 4th and 2, I think it was, and it just got bottled up immediately. Turnover on downs. I don't know why you thought that play was going to magically work in that moment. That's not how that run game was operating at all. And any of the big runs were really more because of Cook, really making something out of nothing a few times. But they were 5 for 16 on third down. They were 2 for 12 on third down for the Texans. 3 for 5 on fourth down. Again, that fourth, what was it? Yeah, it was 4th and 27. Eight sacks, 70 yards lost. 70 yards lost on 8 sacks. That is a lot, man. That is a lot. 0 for 2 in the red zone. 2 for 4 in the red zone for the Texans. 3 turnovers. I mean, it's like, if you watch this game in isolation, you would be like, we turned the ball over a bunch of times, couldn't protect Josh Allen, and yet it was still a close game, right? Kind of like a similar thing what I talked about with the Seattle Seahawks and Sam Darnold having those 4 turnovers, and yet you were still there. They were still there, a field goal away from winning the game. Although they were a touchdown away from winning the game and they were within striking distance, it's hard for me to say, you can feel pretty good about this game because, you turned the ball over a lot and, you had 2 interceptions and a fumble and you couldn't protect Josh Allen and he had 8 sacks and yet it was still, look how close it was. And it's just like, yeah, it was against Davis Mills. This has been consistent issues for this Buffalo Bills offense. Like if they had been playing at a high level, if they had been rolling, then you could chalk this game up to just one of those tough games. And I don't know if I see it that way right now. I think you could be pretty nervous or hesitant if you're a Buffalo Bills fan and you're just like, Josh Allen couldn't even overcome this right now. And the pressure, like there was no magic for him to make in that in those moments. There was no outs. There was just nothing. And then again, you take away Coleman, you take away Kincaid, and then his number 1 receiver, Shakir, can make a couple big plays, but then also cough the ball up. There's just no, and your defense can't get a stop. You're in a tough spot. And this is also why it's okay to kick field goals and not always go for it on 4th down. That's the ridiculousness of all of this. If they kicked the field goal earlier, what would the score be? It would be within a field goal of striking distance. And then, were you in field goal distance this time around in the final drive? You were. Could you then maybe have kicked a field goal to win the game? You could have. I don't understand why people don't understand that it's okay to kick field goals. You don't always have to go for it. You don't always have to go for it, especially when you're going up against a really tough defense and you're going up against a backup quarterback. It's just smart game management. Kick the field goal. It'll be okay. Just crazy. You would have been in a significantly different position here. Significantly. Kick the field goal, come away with the win. 24-23, boom, let's go. Or 25-23, whatever the heck it would be. And then there you go, you're done. See ya. Get back on the plane, 8-3, fly home to Buffalo. It's just, that to me, those moments get overlooked too easily. Those moments get overlooked way too easily throughout the course of the season. I'm sure that'll probably barely even be discussed, honestly. And it should be. And it's funny because I know posting this video, a lot of like Mahomes fans are going to be like, they're going to pop up in the comment section like, Josh Allen lost. It's like, guys, you actually wanted the Buffalo Bills to win this game. The Houston Texans winning are in direct contention with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Texans winning, the Jags winning, like that hurts you, okay? So you shouldn't be celebrating. This was the one game that you're actually hoping for the Buffalo Bills to lose, actually. Like this, their playoff chances now, like more than doubled for the Texans. Okay, the Buffalo Bills playoff chances are like with a win or a loss barely moves at all because of where they're at and who they have to play. So like this actually hurts. Like this actually hurts the Kansas City Chiefs. Just keep that in mind when you're celebrating. The Buffalo Bills actually losing this game hurts you. I guess you should have been rooting for Josh Allen to be able to overcome the 8 sacks. But yeah, this is turning out to be a wild year. We're gonna have the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills both not win their division for the first time in forever, and then it's in the same season. And the Ravens looking like they're, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Ravens pull it off. But like, just crazy. Absolutely crazy. But that defense, man, that Houston Texans defense is legit. I mean, that if you are a defensive guy, you will watch that Texans defense and you'll be making all sorts of noises, man. They'll be showing that tape and showing that film all across the country. From middle school, high school, college, other pros. I mean, like it's a thing of beauty. They're tackling how well they communicate. They win seemingly every one-on-one matchup. They obviously are generating a ton of pressure. They know how to get to someone as gifted as Josh Allen. Like it's for real. So credit to the Houston Texans and Davis Mills. You got to give a lot of credit to Davis Mills. Obviously, I'm not saying that he played this like amazing, brilliant game. But this is a backup quarterback, and he's holding his own. And I love that. I love when you see quarterbacks who never really got the shine, never really got the credit. I'm pretty confident that many people have no idea who Davis Mills is. I'm sure lots of even Texans fans have no. They're like, who's our quarterback? Davis Mills? What? Who? And so credit to him. Getting the job done, doing what he needs to do, not really putting the ball in harm's way, not necessarily relying on any type of workhorse. Again, 26 carries, 108 yards. It's not like he was just handing the ball off all day, every day, and just getting nothing but positive yards. And it's not like Nico was feasting and Kirk was feasting. He didn't necessarily have that here. He has the defense, right? That's definitely a nice luxury to have. But Davis Mills definitely deserves a ton of credit as well. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Buffalo Bills falling to the Houston Texans, who they're right at the cusp of making that wild card, and technically, I guess, still in the hunt for the division. That would be crazy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.